Baby, you have to kill that. I'm starting to just a little bit early, guys. That way I can let people get in here. I was unable to send out a usual warning because I'm using a different platform. So it's only going to go live once the stream is live. The stream is live. So we'll give people a little bit of time and I'll start analyzing at 5. If you could be so kind as to tell me as everything looks all right, everything sounds all right, that would be appreciated. What's up, Daniel? Awesome. Thank you so much, Kimberly. It's fantastic. The first time I've been able to do this since I started the YouTube channel. It's a win. It is a win. What is going on, Chris? Virja, Juice. Juice letting them spam bots have it in the comments section of my videos. Jeeth, what's happening? Everything looks good. Appreciate that, Jeeth. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Well, I guess we can go ahead and get started. I mean, it's just 2 minutes, so... All right, let's do this. Can you hear music in the background? Thanks, Kenneth. That's cool. Yeah, taxes suck. Watching videos is way better. Alright, so we're going to start with Euro USD. We got 2 minutes till 5. It's fine. If anybody else can show up whenever they want. So basically, the Euro USD is absolutely doing something a little bit different than what I had planned for it to do last week. We did get a nice push out of here, but until we take out... Okay, it's faint. Good. That's what I want it to be, Kimberly. I don't want it to be too loud and distracting, just so it's there. So thank you very much. All right, so we're not looking, I mean, this is over a long term, this thing is still kind of structured to the bullish side. We did have pretty much a nice move to the downside, but as you can see over here amongst this price action, let me start with the new levels real quick. You can see that this is going to be your weekly support. That's the very last bullish closing price before you broke out. And you can see clearly that on this weekly candle right here, when it came back down, it did not test that last closing price. That's a big level. That's a weekly closing price. That's a huge level. So we never retested that. All right, we made a new high, or not a new all-time high, but we broke out and kept moving higher. Then we had this kind of sideways to down, not really massive down candles, just sideways to down. And then the last 3 weeks we had a little bit of down, and then we tested this level, pushed down into it deeply, and then traded back up. So basically what I'm looking at eventually, unless we start making higher highs and we take out this candle's opening price, all of these moves are going to be looked at as a selling opportunity. All right, so, but we still closed above this level for 2 weeks in a row. We pushed down into it. The week before last, closed above it. Last week, we traded way down into it and then closed bullishly back above it. So it is showing signs of bullishness. All right, however, on the daily time frame, you can see that we had a nice daily closure below that level. All right, and then we pushed out of there. Friday's price action traded all the way back down to that level. So it doesn't have me convinced quite yet that it's going to head lower. So I was looking for it to head lower, but Friday tested that level. So that was your buying opportunity if you're looking for this to head higher. Since we discussed this last week, there isn't any risk off in the markets. The S&P 500 last week during the stream, someone asked me when we were trading down here before the market opened if I thought that price was going to move higher from this area. And I said, yes, I do. And it did. We are almost about to make a new all-time high on the S&P 500. That is not risk off. All right. And then if you look at the Swiss franc, Japanese yen pairs, you will see that they were the weakest currencies out of all the currencies. So here's the Japanese yen index. All right. This is just the yen. There's no trading against any other pair. It's trading amongst itself. It's a currency index. You can see how weak it was. Now, we were prepared for that move, and a lot of us made a lot of money on that move to the downside. Basically, what I was saying is if it was going to be a risk-off situation last week, because the S&P 500 was trading off, Euro USD was trading off, the dollar was catching a bid, everybody was freaking out. We do have the everything like the bonds going up, or the bonds going down, excuse me, TNX heading up, so everybody's assuming that it's should be a risk-off environment. It's not. All right, it still isn't. The yen is still heading lower. The Swiss franc is still heading lower. Once those two currencies turn around, and then you start to see selling pressure in the S&P 500 indexes and a bid come underneath the dollar, then it can be considered as risk off. Now, the dollar is the world's currency. All right, it's the reserve currency. So basically, if the United States of America's economy is coming back online and it looks good, it looks positive, then people will start to move funds back into the dollar because, well, it's the world reserve currency. So that could be why we caught a bid on the dollar. This right here, the TNX has a bid under it. I understand that. And gold maybe is putting in a bottom, but if you look at this thing on a monthly time frame, you can see that it has been in an obvious clear downtrend. So basically you just had a few weeks of up move. People that are going to sell this, they're looking to sell it now because it's up high enough now to where the risk to reward to the downside is better. And this is what I try to let everybody understand. You don't want to sell stuff that's down here at the bottom. You want to wait till price moves up. That puts the risk to reward in your favor. So let's get back to Forex and let's go over here and see what we got. So as of right now, on the Euro USD, in my opinion, it looks ready to rock and roll to the upside. I am going to be watching it for the next few days. All right, I want to see if this thing closes back below 1.19046. This is the weekly level. That's that weekly was resistance, is now support. It is still support because you have not closed a weekly candle below that. So if you do get a weekly close below that, then and only then would I suggest you start looking for bearish opportunities on the Euro USD. So this Friday's action tested the level and then you had a retracement. So in my opinion, it may still go lower for tonight and tomorrow morning, for instance, may head lower because on the smaller time frame on the daily candle, that's just a retracement. So you had a strong move down and then you retraced off. All right. So they went back lower, it's come out of there. So is this heading around? Well, we don't know. But one thing I do know for sure is we tested that 2-hour market structure level to absolute perfection. You see that wick? Boom, right there. And you are commencing back to the downside. This is that weekly level, 1.19046. So currently it looks like we may be heading lower, but it may be a buying opportunity. So I am going to be looking for buying opportunities in the Euro USD this week as long as we're not trading below 1.19046. That is the line in the sand for me. So basically what I'm going to be watching tonight is I'm going to watch this level right here at 1.19348. If we get pushed down into that area and are unable to close above the level, I figure this will come into play right around 3 a.m. in the morning or at the London Open for you guys. All right. Might be a good time to watch that at the London Open. Are you trading around this level? If so, go into it thinking that it's possibly a buy. When is it no longer a buy? Well, if you close an hourly candle below that level, and I would definitely watch the closing price of that hourly candle. If you push down into that and close below it, you're possibly heading lower, and that trade is void. As of right now, I am under the influence or under the impression that it wants to move higher. It's just what it looks like on the longer term charts. Everything is constructive so far. I think this was just a nice pullback for people to get long. And we did have the Eurozone came out with the interest rate decision last week. It didn't really affect price too much other than made it really choppy and difficult to trade. USD CHF, this was the last trade I took last week. That yellow line was my target. You can see that we clearly took that target out. Let's go into a smaller time frame chart and I can show you what I was looking at. And then I will show you what I'm looking for this week to come. So basically I got long, we came up into this and we smacked it right there, but it was just an intraday scalp. So I got long on this bearish push right here on this hourly candle. That's where I got long. I had my target setting right above the high of day. This candle pushed up into it, took me out of the trade by 2/3 of the position. I moved my stop to break even. Then within an hour, I was stopped out. So this also supports my thesis as the dollar is getting weak, which will also help the euro go up. Now, if you look at this on a daily, it has had a nice run to the upside, but this is versus the Swiss franc. And as long as the Swiss franc is weak, this is going to keep a bid under the dollar or under the USD CHF anyways. So are we putting in a top here? It's possible. That's what I'm going to be looking for this week. All right. Let me check out the comments real quick. This is actually a lot easier to read this chat because it's not glitching everywhere. What's up, Gene, Peter, Kenneth? What's happening, everybody? Giles, thanks for stopping by. All right, thank you guys. Sound, clear screen and sound. Ain't that fantastic? Oh my God, so awesome. Thank you guys. All right, so going forward on the USD Swiss, I am going to be looking for it to roll over. Now there is a level right here that could possibly catch support. And then obviously the closing price of that bearish candle, obviously the closing price of that bearish candle will act as some kind of support too. All right, so let's see if we get the closure below here. I want to see a close below that level before I start looking for shorts to basically verify that it is wanting to make lower highs and lower lows. And then at that point, I will look for a lower high resistance to form and then look to short. As of right now, there is no trade on this asset, but there might be later on into the week, like say around Tuesday, for instance, Wednesday. All right, on the pound dollar came down, held as support. There's your support. All right, the top of that level would have been an area, or the top of that bearish candle would have been an area that I was watching for closures above, but we got a closure below. So then I just moved the candle down to the closing price of the bearish candle because it's the same level as the opening price of this bullish candle and this bullish candle's opening price. And you can see you did not close a daily after 3 attempts to get below that level. That level is 1.38156. Let me get a drink. All right. 138, 1.38156. So this was your support Price shot away from that level. Friday, we made a bearish engulfing, aka outside day reversal. So people are going to be looking at any pop up in price as a selling opportunity. However, it's a bullish asset. All right, you look at that, that is a bullish asset. So not really looking for shorts on this thing, not just yet. I know it's hard to get a nice trend line on it because of these big, huge wicks, but there you go. You're not trading below that trend line. You're not trading below that or support level. You are not bearish, not even a little bit. So I'm going to be looking for bullish opportunities on the pound as well. Let's see if price trades down to roughly this area here, 1.38977. We get a test of that level around the London Open. Price starts to trade away from that level pretty strong. Might be a good spot to look for bullish entries. When I'm no longer going to look for bullish entries on this asset, as soon as we start closing hourly candles below this support that was put in. All right. Once we get that, I will look or wait for it to suss itself out. I'm just checking out the chat. What is up, Darren Marshall? Do you think the JPX is getting close to a long-term uptrend support? JPX or the JXY? Let me see, JPX. Are you talking about the stock, Darren? I'm assuming you're talking about the JXY. So let's go look at the JXY. All right, JXY, long-term support. You have support down here. It's a little bit crazy looking because it gaps just like regular stocks, because it is kind of like a stock. It closes at 5 and opens at 8 a.m. So we'll use the closing price of the bearish candle. You've got to go all the way down to 91.20 before you're reaching support. This candle, it's trading just below this bullish candle's opening price, but I still don't consider that bearish because this bearish candle is the last closing price. That's the last time it closed at that level. So that's the level to watch. Is it getting close to that level? It absolutely is. And this was a pretty steep extended down move. What's up, Jay Bradley? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it was a steep extended down move. So yeah, we could see a pullback. Absolutely, we can see a pullback. This trend line has been holding pretty decently. I put that trend line in there weeks ago, and that's what I was basically up in this area is when I was looking to short. I didn't expect it to move that low. I'm glad it did, however, but so yeah, you can look for a pullback, possibly all the way back up into that area, maybe some sideways. I don't think the yen trades or the yen pairs are going to be the best pairs to look at this week. All right, I'm liking the dollar pairs at first. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, it could be coming into support. Absolutely. The S&P 500 it's bullish. This was your buying opportunity down here. There is no buying opportunity on it right now. All right, it has went too high. People are going to be looking to sell this thing. You went up in there, almost made a new high, but you were unable to. So let's give this some time. If it wants to pull back. We'll go find an 8-hour structure level. Right there is a bearish candle. If we pull back down to 38.73, this level right here might be a good spot to look for buying opportunity. All right, it just may. I don't know for a fact. Obviously, this is not trading or financial advice, but that's a good level to watch for a pullback entry. There's nothing on a 4-hour. All right, there is, but it's right here. So 1 hour, what do we got? We do have an area here that's got price that caught support. So you can use that hourly candle right there. That would be a closer area, but make sure you're not closing hourly candles below it. I don't know if it's going to come down and test. It may just go ahead and shoot on up into all-time highs this week. It looks like that's what it wants to do. So I would leave the S&P 500 alone unless you get a red day or two at least before you could enter long on it. The trade was last week. Last Sunday's FX Weekly Outlook, That was the entry on the S&P 500. So the pound yen is just on a straight move to the upside. It's a 4-hour chart, but you can see all the way since January the 18th, 2021, this thing has been doing nothing but going straight up. So, yep, need a pullback on this thing, man. Need a pullback on it. Depending on which is stronger versus the euro or the pound will dictate how big the pullback is on this. If we get some yen strength, that yen strength will merely just be a pullback. All right, it's not going to be the start of risk off. It's just going to be a pullback looking for selling opportunities. So any pullback in the pound yen will be looked at as a buying opportunity until you're told otherwise. So you have some stops right here, all right, and you have a bearish candle. This is a 1-hour chart, and it is slightly a doji, but it is bearish. So we use that right there. 151.076. Price pushes down into that area and maintains closures above on an hourly basis. I will be watching to re-enter another position on this asset, as I am still long this on the very small account from down here. So it's been going straight up for a while. Actually, I think it's lower. Down here is where I think I entered. So it's been going up. It's been doing good. So yeah, wait for this to pull back. That's the first area to look for a pullback. The second area would be the 8-hour market structure right beneath it. All right, that would give you a nice pullback. Perfect spot to look for support. Hold. Make sure you get the support. Hold first. Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. Yeah, I can't put you guys' comments on the screen either because, like I said, it's a different platform. So apologies for that. All right, moving on. USD CAD. USD CAD. I thought this was the bottom. It was not. We have already came down, made a lower close on that bearish candle right there. All right. Is this a bear trap? I don't know. USD was pretty strong last week and the week before, so this thing should have been going up. Instead, it was going down. That's because of CAD strength. CAD has been on a tear because of oil. CAD is a massive oil producing country, so if oil prices are on the rise, CAD usually will be too. And it's been absolutely phenomenally strong. There is no entry on this, bullish or bearish, in my opinion. Let's go see if there's anything from old. There's that one big massive spike right there. So you could possibly trade all the way up to 88,650 before you turn around. Then again, you could turn around right here. That's a pretty far piece still, and it has been extremely bullish, especially the last few days of last week. It just took off, kind of like Bitcoin did yesterday. Loving it. Loving it. All right. ETH XBT. I'm no longer looking to buy this down here, since we came all the way back down and we are testing the level from the underneath side. It tells me that there's a pretty strong possibility that we will be breaking through it. So I'm not looking to long this anymore. The stream quality looks great now. Yeah, I've been working on it all day, Jay Bradley. I had to buy more different things and do something different. So I'm glad it's working because that's been destroying the views and everything on this channel, which I don't blame them. You know what I mean? It's hard to watch a blurry stream from anybody. So, well, it looks like I got it fixed. So we're gonna rock and roll from now on. But yeah, ETH XBT or Ethereum Bitcoin, I'm not looking to enter this anymore. It looks like it wants to head lower. Aussie dollar. All right, so Aussie dollar broke beneath this trend line. You are now testing it from the underneath side. Now, Aussie can remain weaker than the euro and weaker than the pound. If that happens, then this thing may roll over. So you have made a lower low on the Aussie. You put in a lower high as well. So if you're not able to get a daily closure above this bullish candle at 0.78200, this is going to be looked at as a selling opportunity, even versus the dollar. If the dollar starts to go lower, they break out at that point. As of right now, it's not looking too healthy. I think the bullish entries are best for Euro USD or pound dollar. Pound dollar is the strongest, and it has been the strongest when it comes to the euro and pound. GBP, I can't type. The microphone's in my way. All right, so you can see how much stronger the pound has been than the euro. It's been absolutely crushing the euro. So this is why usually when you're looking to take a trade on the Euro USD or the Pound USD, you want to take a quick look at this asset and see which one of the two is the strongest. If this thing is going up, if it has a lot of bullish candles, that means the Euro is stronger than the Pound. You may want to look at the Euro dollar instead. But if it's going down, that means the Pound is stronger, and then you want to look obviously for Pound dollar longs. So that's just a little bit of tidbit information for you, but it may have found a bottom. All right, you got several days right there testing that level. There is nothing here. I bet if I go into a smaller time frame, I know I will find a level because there's a wick on this bullish candle, but it would take me a month to scroll over and find it. So we're just gonna have to say wait to see what happens, but it looks like it may have found a bottom. All right, basically if it comes down to this candle and tests it at 0.85640, this level here, I would then wait to see if it closes above. If it does, that might be a spot to look entry for a long position, targeting this wick high right here. All right, you're not looking for a massive bullish move on this because you're picking a bottom, so to speak. So you take your profits off this level right here, 0.86304. That gives you a nice risk to reward from these lows to this high. Nice risk to reward, but obviously that will come about once this shows an inability to close below that 0.85640 level. As I said, it is obviously massively to the downside. I mean, it is a massive downtrend. There is no doubt about it. So every pop in price is going to be looked at as a selling opportunity, at least until it breaks out above that trend line. You have you have a daily level right up here at 0.87590. That would ultimately be my longer term target if we get a break above this trend line. It looks like that will be the first area of a retest. At that point, you will have more of what looks like a rounded bottom formation, and you could possibly look for bullish entries moving forward. Now, when I was talking about shorting Euro Yen and Euro Swiss, it was just a hedge play only. All right. The reason being is because everybody was talking about risk off coming into the market last week. We obviously did not get that. I did not get an entry on Euro Swiss. I did get an entry on Euro Yen. I took the trade and it worked out. Now it has broken out. All right. So I am no longer short this asset. Obviously that smoked any stops that were above this wick. So yeah, this is going to pull back. There is no risk off, but remember, on the yen pairs, if you're trading any yen pairs, make sure you understand. I got a warning popped up. Let me see how many frames I'm dropping. Dropping pretty few frames. If the stream for some reason just cuts off, I will pop right back online and send everybody a heads up, all right? If it drops off. So just be patient with me if you don't mind. But if you look to trade the yen pairs, remember we are looking for a correction in the yen. It's just a small term pullback. That's what I'm looking for on the yen. So if the euro is weak, it could absolutely cause a down move in this, but it's going to be looked at as a buying opportunity ultimately. Euro Aussie, same thing. But you got a nice strong push out of this level, a very strong push. Now, you did start making lower lows right here. So am I convinced that this thing's going to turn around? Only if the Aussie remains weak. That's the only way I see this turning around, if the Aussie remains weak. Then you could possibly look for this as bullish opportunities on this pair here, the Euro Aussie. I don't have any right off the bat levels for you. Let's go check a smaller time frame real quick. So that looks like it's holding as support for now. So basically what I do when I get in a position like that, look at that perfect test. Boom. Buyers. But you didn't have a strong push out of there. So doesn't look so good for buyers. It's definitely going to be looked at as a selling opportunity. So it looks like the first level that you're going to see that happen at is going to be 1.54780. If you get a bullish push up into this area, this would be where I would wait to see what happens. 8-hour closure above, look to buy pullbacks. You come up here and you get rejected hard, I will be looking to sell this, targeting this level right down here, 1.53520, as that is the new target on the bearish side of things. This wick up here would be the bullish target. All right, but that would be a weekly range expansion, not a daily range expansion. So it could be a possible swing trade getting ready to pop up on this asset. We'll have to give it some time and see. All right, and then the Aussie CAD looking very weak. All right, this thing was chopping around. This is also because of CAD strength. So we got that lower close on an 8-hour. Let's see where we are on a daily. Got that lower close on the daily. So looking more bearish than bullish at this point. Be looking for pops in price, moves up to look to get short. However, we don't just short random spikes. We wait to make sure they show us resistance. Right here at this level, 0.97616 would be a great area to look for possible short entries. You would find that on an hourly chart or a 4-hour chart possibly. And that would be for an intraday scalp, not necessarily a range expansion. It looks like the Aussie's getting ready to come off. I think the Aussie's getting ready to come off pretty good. And that was basically it on the FX pairs. I went through a lot of other ones and I didn't really see anything I liked. Euro New Zealand looks a little bit, look at this madness. What's going on? Euro New Zealand looks a little better than Euro Yen for bullish moves, but it's a lot more bearish. A lot more bearish. Let me see here. Sorry, this thing just keeps popping up with warnings and errors and everything else. So we will see. We will see. Please hold on. You can make it. I haven't dropped any more frames, so let's hope we're cross our fingers. All right, so you had a lot of NZD strength in the uptrend. That's what caused all this bearishness. So basically what this is going to be is a no-fly zone for me. That's why I didn't throw it up, because they look very similar. This versus the Euro versus the Aussie, and the Euro NZD look very similar. That was pretty much it. I mean, pound Aussie is chopped. It's chopping all around, throwing wicks everywhere. It's hard to trade this stuff right here. It's definitely in a range. That's your top end of your range, because that's the last price you were unable to close above that. So that's your resistance. Your support is all the way down here for now, but it's the main support is this level right here. So as long as you're trading in the middle of this, there is no trade. So that's why I didn't put it on the chart. I mean, you can watch them. You can watch these if you want. You get down into this area, up into this area, there might be a trading opportunity. And that's pretty much it. So you guys go ahead and start dropping your tickers in the chat, and I will do my best to throw up some analysis for you. Ben Fernandez looks and content. I learned so much tea in these streams. Excuse me, man. Raspy voice today. Oil prices going up. JXY tanking. CAD JPY makes perfect sense. Yep, it does. Great content, Heath. Could you check on USD SEK? Absolutely. Absolutely. Got it right there. Let's go look at a longer time frame, so that way we're not looking at it right up close. I don't know what that is. I haven't analyzed this asset in a very long time. All right. So it looks like you found a bottom, but as long as you're trading underneath this bullish level, 8.64066, that's a daily time frame level. As long as you're trading below that level, this is going to be looked at as a selling opportunity. You must get a daily closure, or a weekly closure. I'm sorry, that's a weekly candle. You need a weekly candle to close above that. Let's go down into a daily and see if we can't find something closer. Looks like you've tested this area here. That is your closest area. This does look a little bit constructive down here because you came out of it, made a higher low. All right, that's higher low support. Then you made a higher high. Now you did come back down, but you did not close lower than this support zone. All right, 8.27094. You can see how when price came down into it, it attempted to close below on multiple occasions, but was unable to do so. This move lower was a stop run. This push higher and a close on a bullish note that day would have been a beautiful swing trade to the upside because you smoked all the liquidity residing below these lows. That's where they bought it. All right, they bought up all the stops. So you got a strong push out of there and you made another higher high. Higher low, higher high. So as of right now, the near term trend is to the upside. However, I do believe they will be looking to sell this at 8.64066. All right. So I guess if you want to try to trade this, I would go into a smaller time frame. I would look for a level to watch. That level would be this right here, 8.42195. See if a 4-hour candle can't close below that. Target the high right there. I don't know if I would target that daily level all the way up there, but I would definitely be targeting that high. So anything down here would give you a pretty good risk to reward to the upside if it wants to continue moving higher. All right. Once price gets up here though, like I said, I would look to be shedding off my position at least by 2/3. That way, if price comes all the way back down and stops you out, it was a profitable trade. Trading is about mitigating risk. And as long as you're taking profits and getting your initial risk off the table, you are in fact mitigating risk. All right. Hope that helps. Speaking of Bitcoin, from Indiana Jones, speaking of Bitcoin, the 4-hour, 8-hour candles are headed down. Any levels to watch for? Yeah, let's go check them out. I got you. I'm always looking at Bitcoin. Right here's the first level that, I'm looking for a support test. However, this is the level right here that I would look for bullish entries. That level was 57,332, 57332, spot 50. It's just the opening price of this bearish candle. Looks like you're being held right now from this bearish candle's closing price. It's holding flawlessly. But if you do get that push lower, all right, this could just be a stop run. That would be a buying opportunity. And you could look all the way down to this level here or even this one. You know what I mean? That's basically how I analyze Bitcoin. First level to come into play is going to be 57,332. Definitely. If it comes down to here, I will be looking for a buying opportunity on that. The weekly candle will be closing in 2 hours and 25 minutes. We'll put that right at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a strong weekly close. So I'm looking for pullbacks. And if you let me go back into a 4-hour real quick just to put it into perspective. You can see how close it is trading to the top. I don't like to buy tops. I like for pullbacks to come in. That way I can reinstitute positions to the upside. Or if it wants to come lower, get stopped out and look to enter lower. It's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm going to keep buying Bitcoin until we get a blow off top. We haven't seen that yet. And I don't know when we will or if we will, to be honest with you. This thing is absolutely unstoppable and I'm loving every second of it. Did you watch, Gary S. said, did you watch for AUD to come off or up? It just depends on what you're talking about. AUD Yen, I'm looking for AUD Yen to go down a little bit. Let me go back into just main Forex over here. And the reason being is because I'm looking for the yen to move up. So I'm looking for the yen to negatively affect these pairs. But I'm not looking for it as a crash or anything. I'm merely looking for it as a pullback, as an opportunity, possibly to get long again. All right. As of right now, you're trading up on highs. There's a lot of liquidity resting above that high right there. So I'm not looking for a short on this thing just yet either. So we'll have to see. The yen may not pull back. If the yen doesn't pull back, this thing's going to continue higher. Right now, it looks bullish. I mean, you're testing that 4-hour bearish candle right now. That's last Friday's bearish candle. I mean, right now it's holding a support. So I don't necessarily like it to the short side. But if the yen does catch a pullback, I would expect this to roll over and head lower. At that point, then you can reassess and look for buying opportunities. Probably down around 83.8, 83.9 in this area here. 83.813. Look for that to hold as support. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on Aussie Yen. Aussie dollar. If the dollar comes off, if the dollar catches some weakness, there it is. The dollar gets weak, then I expect this to push higher. But it looks more droopy than the Euro USD and the Pound USD. So this might not be the best one to look at for dollar shorts. So essentially, if you're looking to take this long, you're short the dollar. So if you're looking for dollar shorts, I think Euro or Pound would be better suited for that. This thing looks a little weak. So I want to see a closure above 0.782, which would get a closure above this trend line and this resistance up here. Then I would look for bullish opportunities. As of right now, you do have a bullish target and you are trading closer to that bullish target, but it also looks very attractive to short sellers currently where it is sitting. It looks very attractive for a short, in my opinion, because the risk to reward is just as good to the downside. So it's kind of in one of those areas to where you're just going to have to wait on more data to make a very good trading decision. All right. So kind of basically what I'm trying to say is just watch Aussie pairs for the first part of the week until we get a clear signal as to which way it may be heading. All right. Juice says, can Aussie do well against USD if XAU is tanking against the USD? Yeah, I mean, we don't never know what's going to happen with these assets. Like, I can't start on Sunday and tell you which pair is going to be the strongest. It's impossible. Nobody can do that. That's reading a crystal ball. Basically, what you can look for is you can look at, like, currency strength meters. I think there's, like, several. I know FinViz has one. There's some other websites that are free. You can check out what the strongest. I like to trade the strongest pairs versus the weakest ones, or vice versa. The weakest versus the strongest. And we don't know which one of those is going to be the strongest this week. CAD was extremely strong last week, so you could look for small pullbacks on the CAD. Maybe a good buying opportunity if it comes off from its highs. It was trading extremely strong last week due to oil. The fact that dollar and oil are both trading kind of, there I am beating up on the mic again. It's like the dollar and oil trading basically correlated to the positive side is not really, it's throwing a crazy train signal because these things usually trade inversely. Like if oil's going up, the dollar's usually going down or vice versa. Not always though, but sometimes the markets, they can lose their correlations. That's why it's up to a trader to change with the markets. So you got to change with the markets. But yeah, I'm looking for the dollar to possibly head lower. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. It's just because it had a nice strong move and it's still structured to the bearish side. I'm not looking to short it right off the rip. I will wait for signals, entries. Yeah, wait for signals. Let me go look at oil. Sorry about the raspy voice. I can't get it under control. Oil's just been flying. Man, that was the trade of the year. Trade of the year. Buy that stuff down there around $2 a barrel. You're sitting on mad cash. Yeah, the OPEC said that they're not going to change anything. The OPEC news that came out the last time it came out, they said they're just going to leave everything the way it is. That's why you got this strong push right here. That was from the OPEC news. So you're basically had a pullback and it looks like they're buying it. So as long as you're trading above this level right here, 63 spot 79, this area here, you pull all the way down to that, would be looked at as a buying opportunity. You also have this over here. That is your support level. The closing price of that bearish at 63418. As long as you're closing above that level, it still looks good for bullish entries. If you don't like to wait or don't want to wait for that level to come into play, you can find a smaller time frame chart and find you a level that's preferably untested. The first one I have is this one right here. All right, that's your first untested level. So if price comes down to 64 spot 142, look to see if it can hold on an hourly closing basis, meaning do not want to see closure below that level. If you do, this area is scrapped. So let me go back up there. I looked at that. Yeah, I looked at that too. Let's go look at gold real quick because I did not look at gold and silver. I'll look at silver as well. So I'm thinking maybe gold put in a bottom. This was traditionally the hedge against higher interest rates and inflation, obviously. But with Bitcoin, now things are different. All right. So I'm thinking that's why gold is seeing this since, like I said, all the way over here, August 7th of last year, it has been doing nothing but going down. It's not very bullish. Overall, the structure looks good to the bullish side, and gold can find a bottom here. That's what I was looking for to happen. The RSI was extremely over sold right down in here. We were watching this rising volume formation, so we were looking to call a bottom on gold, but I don't trade that. I wait for that to happen, and then I wait for some more bullish signal before I look to enter. You can see you tried to close above this daily level right here, or you did close above it. My bad, but not very good. You pushed up into it, closed above it, traded off. Now this push lower, came down, tested your bearish candle, and you're trading higher. So if you get a closure, a daily closure above 1738 spot 34, at that point I would look for a pullback and look for higher low support to possibly come in roughly around 1726 spot 74. That's if you get a daily closure above this level. All right, get that closure, wait on the pullback. When that pullback happens, as long as it's not just cutting through that level and just heading lower, and you have another area all the way down here as well. So looks like it may be trying to put in a bottom. So you just have to have patience and let it work itself out to tell you whether or not it has put in a bottom. If that's the case, absolutely be looking for bullish entries on gold. Silver. Silver's, I'm mad at silver because I lost some money on it, but it's all good. I thought it was going to break out here. We traded down and now we're trading lower. So it's just range bound. It's absolutely disgusting. And the range is huge. I mean, it's huge. Up here is your closing price, last closing bullish price, way up there, 28 spot 14. Last bearish closing price, right there. So you're in a range. But you are at the bottom end of the range. So came down, put a test close to this area, not quite beautifully, but that might have been the buying opportunity. You have a level sitting right above your head, right there at 26 spot 57. You get a daily closure above that, take out this swing high with a daily closure, look for pullbacks. That's your entry. All right, let price tell you what it's doing, and that's the only way we can, is to let it form, let it suss itself out, as I like to say. But it's just basically range bound. I like the fact that it didn't take out none of this stuff down here. So maybe this is the bottom, Maybe this pop in price is a chance for reload sellers to target that wick low, because that is a very pretty looking bearish target, 24.01. All right, so we don't know yet. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait. If I see an inability to get at least be closing 4-hour candles above that level right there, I will be looking to short this thing, targeting 24.01. That would be a beautiful risk to reward, but I'm not bearish on it yet. Price has to show me that it is possibly going to remain bearish. It's not bearish, it's just choppy and range bound, so it's best to stay away. Great content. Read that already. Thank you, Daniel. Speaking of, yep, check that out. All right, here we go. Master for Maestro. Thanks, Heath. You are the man. Thank you, Al. You're the man, my friend. You are the man. Hit the like. I forgot till now. Yes, if you guys don't mind, please, I would really appreciate that. Shows the support. Shows the support. USD NAS 100. All right. Let's check it out. Here's the E-minis. Nasdaq. Nasdaq was weaker than the S&P 500, but Nasdaq is more heavily weighted to tech. Tech took a beating. All right. There's that error again. Tech took a beating, so it's weaker. Now it's not nearly. SPY's about to put in all-time highs again, and you're trading well off the highs on this. So, is this in an area to look to buy? I believe so. I believe so. So let's break this down. Currently, came down here. There's your low. Boom. All right. So we know that's our low. This was our resistance until we broke above it, retested it, and have since moved higher. We're coming back down to test it again, or possibly have found another level already. Excuse me, I don't really see anything I like. So watch this 4-hour structure right here. All right, just because it's the last bearish closing price. As long as you can't get a closing bearish candle below this level, might be a buying opportunity. Yeah. I think that tech's going to come back around eventually. I mean, it's capital rotation. Capital rotates out of, you got to think. I mean, tech was, it was going on. Now it's not. Or the pandemic was going on. Now it's not. So people are rotating their capital out of tech, putting them into more risky plays because, well, risk is on. Risk is on. As long as risk is on, let's look at it. So maybe that hinders the Nasdaq for a little while, but eventually I do look for it to come back. Absolutely. Stonks only go up, right? Not financial advice. Kimberly says BNT USD, no position, just looking. Absolutely. Let's go check it out. BNT USD. Damn it. I opened up a KuCoin account today, so I'm going to play around with that as well. BNT USD is extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. Not much price action. It's not a very old asset. Looks great. Extremely bullish. There's nothing to do. You have to wait for a pullback. Looks like you got that already. But the way price is reacting around it, it looks like it's wanting to find a lower level. You got one right here. 6.8186. Price trades down to there. Might be a good spot to look for a rejection, meaning support. If it catches support here, might be looking to enter this long. Catching that high or low support. It is bullish. It is structured to the bullish side. Can't really draw a trend line on it. I mean, you can, but it's not going to help much. It's going to be way away from price all the way down to here. But that is your last area of support as well. So, yeah. Watch that zone right there. Boom. This area. Look for buying opportunities there if they present themselves. If you get an 8-hour closure below that bottom line, that is not a buying opportunity presenting itself, by the way. That is a wait and see. Wait and see. But it looks very bullish, Kimberly. Very bullish. Loving it. Daniel says, thank you, brother. Thank you, Daniel. Luke Ward, is Aave worth investing right now? No, not right now. Let's go look at it, though. I do have it. I think it's on the purple list. There it is, right there. Right now. Maybe. I mean, you're so far holding support. You might be, man. Might be. I don't like the fact that it traded up and made a lower high, but that's price action. You came back down here. So, I like it. I like it. You can put a stop down here, use very small position. Once again, this is not financial advice. If you get an 8-hour closure below that level, you might as well exit your position. Right there is going to be the last closing price, or the last opening price. So that's your, like, massive support. You get a closure below that level, you're possibly going lower. But I do like this because it held above this support right here. You got a nice strong push out of it. So this will be the area on this asset. If it's going to move higher, right now is the time to do it. If you fail, then you're going to have to take a loss and wait for it to find support at lower prices. Don't just jump right back into it right here. If it fails and breaks and closes below that level, that is a sign to you that you need to wait a little bit. All right, need to wait a little bit. But it could be at a nice area. Absolutely. Keep an eye on it this week. This week. The weekly looks good, man. Yeah, keep an eye on this week. I like it. It looks good. Daniel says, thank you, brother. You're welcome. And then Louis says, your thoughts on pound NZD? I'm long, but it keeps failing to break above its current resistance. Pound NZD. Got you, my friend. I got you. Here we are on pound NZD. Wiki weekly candles. And you said you are long, but it keeps failing to break above the resistance. I see what you're saying. Yeah, man, it's being held up. That's for sure, my friend. That is for sure. But that's okay. If it's consolidating up here, the chances of it breaking out are better than the chances of it failing. If it was going to be failing, you would have got a lower close on this daily candle. I like it still to the upside. I tell you what, I don't know where you're long from, but I would watch one spot 93273, this area right here. If you close it daily below these candles, you're going to be coming to here. If you close it daily below that, maybe time to look to exit that position. As long as you're closing above this area and this area on daily, I would not exit it because it's going to find buyers to break out. That's your target. This right here is your target. They have candlesticks create a sentiment as well, guys. They're an advertisement tool. They advertise price to other traders. It's advertising failure right now. It's advertising double top on a smaller time frame. It's advertising short me now. Short me now. So people are shorting it. And you have a ton of stops. Excuse me. A ton of stops being built up. Built up. This is your target. Once you take that out, then it could roll over. All right. But yeah, I'd be targeting that. I'm actually going to leave this on my watch list for the short term weekly weekly range expansion intra week. Looks like it's shaping up for a breakout. I like it. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Dale Shrewsbury, will ETH always follow BTC? Not always. Right now it looks like it follows BTC because most of your hedge firms and everything like that manage a lot of money, they use algorithms and bots. Those bots and algorithms Usually, if they're going to exit their Bitcoin positions or take profits, they will also program those bots and algos to do the same on ETH. ETH is lagging Bitcoin right now, but a lot of prominent members in the YouTube community, whatever, they got a lot of followers, they may know something. A lot of them are thinking that ETH's going to be going way higher. Like, I've seen price targets of 10K on ETH. Doesn't mean that it's going to hit it, but I've seen them. All right, so people are looking for ETH to be strong, but it is lagging Bitcoin. Bitcoin broke out of its all-time high yesterday. ETH did not. ETH did have a nice strong move. ETH is pushed lower. ETH looks like a buying opportunity. Now, I said that on Litecoin as well. I was watching Litecoin yesterday, and just as soon as I got off the stream, I'm short Litecoin. I was short Litecoin yesterday, but it looked like it was going to catch support similar to what this is doing. But the only difference between this and Litecoin versus Bitcoin is Litecoin versus Bitcoin is extremely weak. Every pop gets sold into, and I will show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, ETH looks like it's getting ready to take a run. I shorted this pop. The reason is because every time you get a big bullish candle on Litecoin versus the Bitcoin, it gets sold into. So I assumed that was not broken. So it's probably going to do the same thing. It did that. However, I told everybody to watch this level right here. If you get a daily closure below, then it's not going up, it's going down. But if it closes above, it's going to go higher, targeting this wick here. You got that daily close below, and you see what is happening now. There is currently a level right here, all right, right below it. So it could find support here. If ETH versus, or Litecoin versus Bitcoin is going to head higher, it has to do it here. I am still short. The position is up 4%. All right. So I'm up 4% on this move. I exited the position yesterday at this area. I took about 3.5% off of that trade, and I re-entered as soon as I seen on a smaller time frame the weakness. Boom, right there. Got short. That's a strong push lower. There's your retest on an hourly time frame, and you have went lower ever since. So I'm still holding that short position on it. This is that 8-hour level right here at 35.89. So let's see what happens there. But back to ETH. ETH looks good. ETH's consolidating right here. There's your bullish push. Not ETH XBT. I want ETH USD. There we go. So you're consolidating, pushed higher, right? You're consolidating around a pretty good, strong, or a nice level. This is your last hourly closing price. You can see once you made that close on that bullish candle, you were unable to close back above that level, right? Couldn't do it here, couldn't do it there. Here you got up, you couldn't do it on the first attempt. Second attempt, you won. Retest, see ya. Now, the fact that it is slowly trading sideways and down, you closed back below it multiple times. So are we going to trade higher from here, or are we going to look for a lower level for support? The lowest level is 178 spot 64, 1789 spot 64, this level down here. I don't think ETH trades all the way back down to there. All right, you could check the midpoint of this big bullish candle, roughly 1826.14. As long as you're not closing hourly candles below that, I still think ETH is going higher. ETH looks good. It looks good. It's lagging Bitcoin, but you got your level right here. That's why it's being sold right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to find higher low support eventually, and it's going to take off and ultimately take that target out right there. At least that's what I'm hoping to happen. I do hold ETH as well as Bitcoin for long-term hodls. So we'll see. We will see what happens. What do you think? Where are we at? Bogey, what do you think about DMT? I don't trade it. I do not trade it. I have not traded it. So let's go look at it. The only one that's on the dollars versus Bittrex. Maybe you're talking about DMT, BTC. Let's go see real quick. DMT, BTC. Nope, just still Bittrex. So let's look at the daily, or look at the dollar pairing first on a daily time frame. I hate when it's calculated by TradingView because it's always super wicky. It's strong. So you basically traded sideways forever. You could see how the volatility started to kick in on it, how the ranges got bigger and bigger until ultimately you broke out. That was a nasty daily candle right there, but they bought it back up. There's really nothing to do. There's really nothing to do. This may head a little lower, say down here to this level. If you get a test of that level and an inability to close a daily below that level, might be a buying opportunity, but I would only be targeting a wick high. All right, I wouldn't be trying to buy it up here to hodl for long term unless you know the fundamentals of the company. I don't know the company, so I can't really comment on if I think it's going to go higher or not. The technicals are looking good. The technicals say it's absolutely bullish. So as long as the technicals don't break down, I would watch that area right there. And then XLM, Stellar still range bound. Stellar still range bound. This is our range right here. We talked about it yesterday. As long as it's trading below 41.8201, this level here, there's nothing to do. It looks like it's trying to break this daily low or this daily closing candle here. That's your last closing candle. That is your support. Until you get a daily closure below that candle, it's support. You haven't tested it yet today, though. So maybe it's going to finally catch a bid. The range is tight, so eventually, whether it goes lower or higher, it's going to be a pretty big move. The tighter this range gets and the longer it goes on will pretty much dictate the size of the breakout or breakdown. So it's currently in a kind of wait and see area. You can always, if it breaks out to the upside, meaning you get the daily closure above this level right here, because that's your last closing daily price, the highest closing daily price. So if you get a breakout right there, a closure above, you can always look for retest entries on this, looking for it to go higher. And same for the downside. But when an asset is bullish like this, longer term, it's bullish. I mean, it's a bull pennant. It's making a bull pennant. It's getting a little long in the tooth, so it's about time for it to break out one way or the other. I would only be looking to target this bullish candle right here if it broke down, because it is structured to the bullish side. So in my opinion, the risk is to the upside. You get that daily closure below this level right here, you can look for this level to be tested. That level is spot 346,926. The ultimate support is 0.381135. All right. This 0.418201 is a level that sellers will be looking to short at if it's unable to close above. They will be entering short positions or selling their hodl longs. Salem morning or Moments S&P tomorrow bearish. S&P is not bearish, not even a little bit. S&P is extremely bullish. S&P is about to break out and make all-time highs. Is it open? I believe so. It is 6:04. Yes, it is open. And there it goes already, off to the races. No, not looking to short the S&P 500. Not looking for it at all. If you do get some red candles, those will be buying opportunities, not selling opportunities. The risk is to the upside on this asset. I mean, last week that was the trade, and it just went higher every day after. So we pretty much called that nailed it. So I wouldn't be looking to short that. If you're looking to buy it, then yes, do not buy it up here. Absolutely not. Let it pull back, Salem. Let it pull back, or Salim. I apologize if I mispronounce any of your guys' names in advance. Yeah, I'm not looking to short this. Look for pullback entries to get long. First level, 39.01 spot 30. Second level for a bullish entry is 38 spot 73. That's what I'd be looking for on the S&P 500. Jay Bradley says, I need to learn more about how different markets affect each other, like how oil affects CAD. Jay Bradley, you just started, my man. You're already killing it. You're doing way better than I was when I had the same amount of experience that you have. So just be patient, my friend. You are going to be a trader one day. You are absolutely killing it. Just be patient, my friend. You cannot rush success. Can't rush success. Bruno Diaz, what are you thinking about USD CAD with oil prices? With oil prices, USD CAD, man, it's been so weak. So basically, you got this. Oil's been extremely strong with hardly any like massive correction. You've had your basic corrections, but nothing massive. So is it ready to pull back for another correction? And when I say correction, I'm not talking about like a 20 or 30% correction. I'm talking about just a pullback that gives buyers an opportunity to get long on oil again. Or is oil about to top out and head lower? We don't know. But that will affect the USD CAD. On the USD CAD, as we can look at some other technicals, instead of looking for trade levels, you can look at the RSI. You are printing bullish divergence. You can see that you made a low here. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on? Oh, it's all the way over here. So right there's your divergence. All right. Came down to the oversold level. Or is it down here? Why do I keep screwing that up? It's here and here. You can see it made lower prices. No, it's right there. So there it is. You made a lower low, but you're higher on the RSI is what I'm trying to say. This thing's got me screwed up. You got lower low on price, higher low on the RSI. That's divergence. But divergence isn't working on Bitcoin. Neither was it working on Tesla. Take it for a grain of salt. You had your rising volume structure, so it looked like it was going to put in a bottom. We came right back down. So no, it looks weak. Looks like it's going to head lower. So I would possibly stay away from it. I am going to watch it to see if it puts in a low or a bottom, but there's no way to tell if it will or not. You know what I mean? Any pop in price is going to be looked at as a selling opportunity, just like it has been for a year. Every pop in price got sold. Every single one. Sold, 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 sold. So this even was sold. Until you start making higher highs, taking out higher market structure levels, this thing is a short until it says otherwise. USD JPY, says Robert Rockstar. Let's go look at it. I thought I had it on here, but I do not. So let's go get it. There it is. Yeah, big strong breakout, man. We were all over this too. Once you broke out of that channel, boom, broke out, retest, see ya later. All over it. We were all over this. Right now, you gotta wait. You gotta wait. You had several daily candles in a row to the upside. 2 red days, but is that a pullback? I mean, technically it is, but it's not a very big one. I would like to see a deeper correction, like down here, 106.762. That would be a good spot to look for a buying opportunity. Are you looking to short it? I don't know if I would do that either. Just, that's picking a top. It's picking a top. I mean, ultimately, any trade that you take, you're looking for a market reversal. Doesn't matter, really. I mean, you're always picking tops and bottoms, I guess, if you want to look at it like that. But I don't know, man. It's going to have a lot to do with the yen. We got to wait on the yen. We got to see what the yen's going to do, and we got to wait to see what the dollar's going to do. This may be a short opportunity. I don't know. But I know when it gets down to 106.762, it's going to be looked at as a buying opportunity again, because it is currently structured to the upside. It's currently structured to the upside. This was your buying opportunity, I guess. I don't like doing it, but I don't like buying up on highs like that. This is all discombobulated and sideways price action. So just let it suss itself out. Come back Tuesday-ish, see where this thing is then. Don't worry about missing opportunities. You're going to miss opportunities. You're going to. You just got to get used to that and look for higher probable areas to enter trades. There was your level right there. Had 2 nice tests and it's moving higher. So the trade has passed. If you want to try to pick a top here, get your stop above there, look for down, that's on you. I'm not doing it. It's really nothing to do on it for a couple days until we get more data. Data is king. You need data. The more data you have that to better influence your trading decisions is always good. Always good. USD ZAR. Let's check it out. I haven't looked at that in a long time. I don't even have it. Alright, so let's go get it. Let's go get it. On Oanda. Let me look at it from a far point of view. God, what is all that? I don't know what I was doing there. Yeah, this is the dollar weakness that we've seen, but it looks like it's found support. This is a monthly support right there. 14.694 monthly support. You are trading above it. Weekly candles, you're moving sideways. You did take out that area right there on a weekly closing basis, right? Right there. Then next week you got a bearish engulfing. Bearish engulfing. So, weekly closing basis. You don't want to see a weekly closing basis below 14.83. So this week, if it pushes down into here and starts to retrace back out of that level, that might be your signal to look to go long, targeting last week's high. All right, at first, take off your position. The way I do it is I let it exit 2/3 of the position. I move my stop to break even. That way, if I do catch the possibility of being in a nice trend reversal, then I would love to keep that other 1/3 of my position size running for as long as it wants to run, like I'm doing on pound yen right now. I bought that thing like 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and it has not looked back. So I like it. It looks like it's already broke out. You did break out. You did close above it. This bearish engulfing is going to make people think that it is heading lower, and it may be because it has been going down for a long time. So the trend is to the downside. Was that the short up there? Possibly. No way to know. But let's see if you find support. 14.83. That's the level to watch. That's the level to watch. As long as you're not closing a weekly candle below that level, you have found higher or low support. Look for range expansion to the upside. To the upside. But if you do get that weekly close, you're going lower. Way, way lower. All right. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Says... Thank you, sir. You are welcome, Louis. Bra, ain't no scalping today. No, I don't scalp on Sundays. I wait till Monday morning. New York Open. That's when I look to enter my scalp trades. J20 Trading Company, an hour late. Gonna rewind and start over. Thumbs up. Thank you, J20. Appreciate you being here. Glory Bell Lopez, SOS. Big Dino Trader says hi. Hello. Jay Bradley, appreciate it, Heath. You are killing it. Thank you, Jay Bradley. Atif says thanks, Heath. Super session and Bitcoin USD. Just a quick look, please. Absolutely, man. If you guys have anything that you want me to look at real quick before I end the stream, we've been running for an hour and 19 minutes. Just drop it in the chat and I will look at it for you before I bounce. Bitcoin looks good, man. I'm so proud of Bitcoin. It's so strong. So strong. Let's go look at a daily. You are currently testing for higher low support right now, but you're at all-time highs. So that's good. It's constructive because you've had all day to trade, right? Yesterday's daily range was way bigger than today's. This is a bullish sign. It's a very bullish sign. I don't know if that's... No, it's nothing. It's just the last closing price. That's why it's support. And it was the last session's candle. So it's not really support yet because it has only traded there once. Now you were lower than that, but if this second candle closes below that, then it's not support. It's not support. We got a line right down here at 57,332 though. I believe that's an hourly or a 4-hour level. It's a 4-hour level. So if Bitcoin pulls back all the way down to here, that will be a buying opportunity in my opinion. In my opinion, this is not financial advice, but in my opinion, 57,000 looks beautiful. $332 right there. It may hold here because you do have another bearish close on the 4 hours, so that is support. That's why it was there. It's your 4-hour support. 4-hour support is holding price currently. Yep. Tomorrow is when Bitcoin will do its real move, obviously, because the CMEs will be open. Probably open up with a gap. Well, it will open up with a gap. No probably about it. It broke out. So there will be a gap. They will be looking for that gap to fill. But I don't like to trade gap filling strategies, not on Bitcoin. It's a good way to get wrecked. Gaps do not have to fill. They do not have to fill. There's gaps in Amazon and in Tesla and other assets that's never been filled and never will be filled. So they don't have to fill. They usually do though. They usually do. So let that gap fill, come into play, but don't trade it. Wait for support to come in, and that's when you look to attack Bitcoin. You let the gap fill traders do their job, and then your job is to buy it as support. All right. Another learning a lot here. Thanks, Heath. You are welcome, Andre. Top dog killer, Aussie Swiss. Yeah, let's go take a look at Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss looks like it's holding support. Looks like you have found support. Probably getting ready to make a move to the upside. Swiss is like the yen. It's been extremely weak because Aussie's weak, and look how strong Aussie's been paired against the Swiss. Very strong, right? Had this push lower. That was a buying opportunity. It's now moving higher. You got your first resistance level is going to be 0.72232. So you need a daily closure above that. This is your bullish target right there. So tomorrow morning, if we're holding above 0.71918, this level here, possibly be looking to take this to the long side, targeting that wick right there for a scalp. That would be a nice risk to reward, and that's only if it's holding above that level. Only. London session will probably dictate the direction of a lot of these things tonight, guys. Keep that in mind. The London session, not always, but most of the time, a lot of times, let's say that, more than half the times, the London session puts in the high or the low of day on all these assets. Keep that in mind. The London Open puts in the high or the low of the day. You can check it out for yourself on TradingView. Use a 4-hour candle or 4-hour candlesticks and just rewind time. The London Open, picking the high or low of the day. All right, guys. So Gino4 says, hi, he. So basically, enter weekly expansion means taking profit within the weekly, either at the high or low. Absolutely. Yeah, when you're taking a trade looking for a weekly range expansion, basically what you're looking for is that weekly candle's range to expand. So you're either looking for that range to expand in the direction of your trade, your position. So if you like, we'll use this right now because I got it pulled up. So basically, this was a range expansion. This is an inside week. You are still trading within this. Let me get rid of all this nonsense. All right. So you are trading with inside of this range, right? Boom. So this was a range expansion, but it closed weak. So the last 3 weeks, not 2 weeks, let's say 2 weeks because you can't count this one that just opened. The last 2 weeks have traded inside of this range. Since it's trading up here, I would look for a wick to be thrown through that high before it rolls over, if it's going to roll over. I don't know that it's going to roll over. Usually the trend continues. So what I would be doing is I would be targeting this wick for this weekly candle to find support somewhere. Then I would look to enter expecting this weekly candle's range to open up to the upside. At that point, I would take off 2/3 of my position, All right, move my stop to break even. That way, if it is just a stop run up here, smoking all the stops, and then heads lower, I exit the position a winner. All right, a winner. So that's the weekly range expansion. Those generally take, a few days to play out. Most of the time, I'm looking for daily range expansions. Enoch, awesome, love your explanation. Heath, thank you, you're so welcome. Enoch, thanks, man. You're welcome, Top Dog Killer. How could you check out Reef USDT? Yeah. Oh, beating up the microphone again. I don't know if that wick is real or not. First and foremost, it's looking okay. I mean, if the wick isn't real, it looks okay. Let's stretch it out so we can get a good look at it. So you're making higher highs and higher lows, man, on a daily time frame. It's beautiful. It looks extremely nice. Extremely nice. There is your trend line to the upside. You did pierce it once, but that's okay. If you want, you could, looks like I lost it. No, it's back. All right. So you could look for this to hold. Right there's your line. As long as it's trading above that, you're looking for bullish entries. First level I'd look for a bullish entry would be 0.038696. This level right here. All right, if price trades back down to there, that's where I would look for a pullback entry. You can go into a smaller time frame and see if you can find something up here a little bit higher, but I like the daily and 8-hour structures the best because those usually hold more weight. Not usually, they do. This is an hourly time frame and you still don't have nothing in this breakout. So yeah, it looks bullish. I would wait for this to come back to here before I would look to get long. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut it loose as the thing is for some reason dropping a lot of frames now. So maybe I just gotta find a better location to put it. But we are on the right track finally. Blurriness and all that good stuff is gone, hopefully. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here and being cool as crap. You guys are the best community on YouTube. So make sure you trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. Happy trading, everybody.